Are you guys aware that 80% or more of people who seek alcohol treatment will relapse in the first 6 months after they leave treatment? And it actually says in this medical journal that one of the few areas of consensus in the alcoholism treatment field is the recognition that alcoholism is a chronic condition with high risk of relapse. Treatment outcome studies have reported 80% or more by 6 months post-treatment discharge. And the truth is, the treatment system hasn't really changed much for the better part of the last century since Alcoholics Anonymous came out. And not to knock AA, it's a great program for some people. But if you go to an alcohol rehab center, almost all of them are going to be 12 steps and abstinence-based. And just like that article shows, this has an 80% or more failure rate. So why are we still offering these treatments that are really failing people when there are other options that are way more effective, like medication treatment using naltrexone following the Sinclair Method? What's also crazy for me is that naltrexone has been FDA approved for treatment of alcohol dependence since 1994. And that's about when the Sinclair Method came out as well, which is a form of alcohol treatment using naltrexone with a clinically proven 78% success rate, opposed to the 80% or more failure rate of the traditional treatment system. Naltrexone has also been widely researched over the past several decades for treatment of alcohol addiction. If you go to pubmed.gov and you search naltrexone and alcohol, you'll find that there's over 2,700 medical journals and scientific papers about the use of this medication for treatment of alcohol addiction. One of the most common questions I hear people ask when they learn about naltrexone and the Sinclair Method for alcohol treatment is, why haven't I heard of this before? And that was my first question as well when I first learned about it after struggling with alcohol addiction for nearly 10 years and just being told that I needed to quit drinking. That was the only option for me. Nobody ever even mentioned medications to me. Isn't the definition of insanity doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results? What's happening in the alcohol treatment world is that people are going in to get help for alcohol addiction, but they're not being given an effective treatment. They're being given a treatment that has over an 80% failure rate. It's kind of like if you went to the emergency room with a huge stab wound in your side and all they do is give you a little teeny tiny Band-Aid over it. And then if it didn't heal, they would just say, oh, I guess it's too serious of a cut for us to heal. No, that would be insane. They would stitch it up and they would give you proper treatment. This is why I am such an advocate for the Sinclair Method after I struggled myself for almost a decade with alcohol addiction. And after I went on this method and had my personal success with it. And as a coach the last 4 years, seeing client after client have amazing results with this method when literally nothing else had worked for them. If you're not familiar with this treatment, I have my website in my bio where you can learn a lot more about it.